Crafters. Today we're going to be making the sunflower motif from the 2024 VVCAL. This is how the motif looks when it's done, and we're just going to jump right in. All you need to know for this motif is really just simple stitches like single crochet and double crochet and then puff stitch. So I'm going to start with a slip knot and then chain 3. And you are welcome to do a magic ring or chain more stitches if you like, but I just like to chain 3 and then slip stitch in a third chain from the hook to make a ring. And then in that ring, I'm going to go straight into making a beginning DC, and that's going to be a single crochet chain 1, and I don't chain up when I make that single crochet. So single crochet chain 1, and that's going to be the first double crochet of the round. And then I'm going to make 11 more double crochet, so that I have 12 total. Okay, so here's my first round, and I'll join with a slip stitch in that chain from the beginning double crochet. All right, so there's my first round, and now I'm going to start with round 2, and I'm going to make a beginning double crochet, so single crochet without chaining up and chain 1, and then double crochet, chain 1, 2 more double crochet, all in that same stitch as your beginning double crochet, and I'll show you how that looks. It'll look like that, and then make a chain 1, and now you're going to skip 1 stitch, and then in the next stitch you're just going to make 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet, all in the same stitch, and then chain 1. And that's going to be our repeat, and make sure you skip that double crochet in between, and I'll show you how that round looks when it's complete. Here's how my round 2 looks, and I'm just going to join with a slip stitch in the chain of that beginning double crochet again. All right, so there's my completed round, and now we're going to start round 3. I'm going to make a slip stitch in the next stitch, and then I'm going to do a beginning double crochet in the chain space. And now I'm going to do a double crochet, chain 1, and 2 double crochet, all in that same chain space. Okay, here's how that looks for starting out for our round. And now I will chain 1, and now I'm going to make a puff stitch in this chain space here, in this chain 1 space. So you just yarn over, insert your hook and pull up a loop, and then just do that 3 more times. I like to do it 4 times total, just because it makes a nice plump puff stitch. And then draw the yarn through all the loops on the hook. All right, and there's your puff stitch. And now I'm going to chain 2. I like to chain 1 before the puff stitch and then 2 after the puff stitch, and I'll show you why in just a second. So now I'm going to make my corner, which is just going to be 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet. Okay, so here's my corner. Squishy. All right, sorry about that. Okay, so now I've got my corner, 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet, and I'll show you why I've got 1 chain before the puff stitch and 2 chains after. So when you make a puff stitch, it kind of creates this chain looking element right here. And so you can see the spacing before and after the puff stitch is fairly even though I've only done 1 chain before and 2 chains after. So that is how I like to instruct my puff stitches, because I do find it confusing when people use a closing chain in the puff stitch pattern itself. So I just leave that out, and I've got 1 chain before and 2 chains after. Okay, and then make my corner here, and after my corner I need to chain 1 and then go into my repeat of making my puff stitch into this chain space. And I'll show you how the round looks when it's finished. All right, so I've got my round complete here. I have 6 puff stitches, and I've gone ahead and joined with a slip stitch to close my round. And now I'm going to get ready to start my next round by making a slip stitch in the next stitch, and then I'm going to make a beginning double crochet straight into this chain space. Okay, this round is just some double crochets and chain spaces to kind of make an eyelet round. So I'm going to make a chain 1 and then double crochet in the same chain space, and I'm just going to make 1 double crochet there, and then chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in the next stitch. Okay, and now chain 1, double crochet in this chain space, and then chain 1 and double crochet in the next chain space, chain 1, and now we're going to go straight into this double crochet right here with a double crochet, chain 1, and now we're up to our corner where I'm just going to work double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Okay, and then I'm going to show you that side so you can see how everything is spaced out, and that's how we're going to work all the way around. Okay, so my round is complete. I'm just going to show you for a second how it looks there. That's just like an eyelet round, all double crochet with chain spaces in between. And we only have 2 more rounds left on this motif. So I'm going to jump straight in my chain space to start my corner. I'm going to make a beginning double crochet and then a double crochet, chain 1 and 2 double crochet, all in the same chain space. And then I'm going to chain 1, skip this chain space here, skip the first chain space, and then puff stitch in the next chain space. And we're going to do that a total of 3 times, so 2 more times. Chain 1, puff stitch in the next chain space, chain 1, and puff stitch in the next chain space. All right, and now I'm going to chain 2. Okay, so that's how my side is looking so far. And now I'm going to go into my corner. So I'm going to skip this next chain space and go into my corner with 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet, just like that. All right, and then I will chain 1 and go into my puff stitches, skipping this first chain, just like before, and I'll show you how that side looks. All right, so that is the second to last round completed. And you've got 18 puff stitches in this round, and you can see how everything sits nicely there, and we're ready to start our final round. So I'm going to make a single crochet in the next stitch, and then 3 single crochets in the chain space for the corner. And now I'm going to make 2 single crochets, 1 in each of the next doubles, just like that, and 2 single crochet in the chain space as well. And now I'm going to work into the next chain space with 1 single crochet, and into my puff stitch, the center puff stitch, 1 single crochet, and then 1 single crochet in this next chain space, 2 single crochets in the next chain space, and 2 single crochets, 1 in each of these 2 doubles here. And then I'm back at my corner with 3 single crochet. If you lose count, there's 84 singles when the round is complete, 14 on each side. And you can see where the placement is here. And I'm just going to show you the completed motif here, just to keep the video short. So here is the completed motif, and I hope you enjoy this one. It is the sunflower motif from the 2024 VVCAL.